merciful. Assalamu alaikum and good evening to all our viewers who have tuned in to Question Time on Islam, live from the Ahlebait studios in London. Viewers, as you know, each and every week we have this show, a show that allows our callers and the viewers to ask any questions that you may have. Now, some of us may be sitting there and thinking that we know the answer to a lot of questions, or sometimes you feel like you don't want to call in to speak to our Islamic scholar. You have the opportunity to call, to text in your questions as well. Take this opportunity. As you know, it's a limited time that we are aired every week. And our Islamic scholar will try his utmost best to answer any questions or any concerns that you like to share with him. Therefore, do take this opportunity to call in or send in your messages. Sayyidina, thank you very much once again, as I say each and every week, for joining us again on Question Time on Islam. May Allah give you a long life. Thank you for this. Sayyidina, welcome once again to tonight's show.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. I would like to start with this Hadith Qudsi, in which Allah the Glorious has revealed to his prophet David, O Dawood, he who loves someone believes in him, and he who accepts someone as his beloved will accept his acts, and he who trusts his beloved relies on him, and he who clings to his beloved will work hard to be more near to him. Ay Dawood, my remembrance is for those who remember me, and my paradise is for those who obey me, and my love is for those who keen to meet my mercy, and I am for those who love me. Imagine what Allah has revealed to one of his prophets, Dawood alayhi salam, which is all on the love which is in the heart of the pious servants of Allah for Allah. Love is the spirit of our relationship with Allah. In fact, we pray Salah, and Salah in Arabic from Sila, which is connection, to be connected with Allah. And when you are connected with Allah, you will gain the peace of mind, you will gain the self-confidence, you will gain the trust in Allah, and you will never be victim of fear or sadness or anxiety or depression or any negative feeling, only if you really love Allah and trust Allah. Allah in this Hadith Qudsi says that those who love Allah, I will give them everything. Those who really love, they love Allah, real and true love. They don't do anything which Allah does not like. They don't talk any word which Allah does not like. And they love everyone who is beloved to Allah. And they love every deed which is beloved to Allah. Those people who live the true love for Allah are those who are gaining the best in this life and hereafter. As we have in the narration that a person came to Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salam and asked him, does love come in our religion? Imam replied him, is religion anything but love? وَهَلِ الدِّينُ إِلَّا الْحُبِّ. The whole deen, religion of Islam is based on love for Allah and for the Prophet and his holy progeny, Ahlebait. This is the real love. And real love makes the sincere servant of Allah loves every good deed which makes him more near to Allah and dislikes any bad deed which makes him away from Allah. We seek from Allah to grant us His love, to grant us His love and the love for His most humble servant Muhammad and his holy progeny Ahlul Bayt, and keep our hearts full of love, the true love, not the imagining or the imagination and the love which is connected with the lust and desire. No, we seek from Him to grant us the true love, that love which elevates us and makes us better human being and makes our life in this world and hereafter the best life. Inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, we'll go straight into our questions right now. Sayyidina, one question is, my husband doesn't pray. He doesn't read the du'as. He has even forgotten the Quran. He only thinks about work. He's spending more time in working. What advice would you give in this instance?
Husband and wife are partners in their life, but everyone is responsible about his own deeds. Because they are partners, they are responsible to help one another to fulfill their duty as Muslims. In Quran, Allah says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم. Oh, those who believe, protect yourselves and your families from the hellfire. So everyone is responsible, husband and wife. They are responsible to help the other, to fulfill his duties, to avoid sinful acts, to be always on the right path. And both of them are responsible to look after the children and teach their children the proper lifestyle, the lifestyle of Iman, the way that the prophets and the infallible Imams taught us to live. But if one of the couples, they say the husband or his wife, one of them is not fulfilling their responsibility properly, the other one is not responsible. As far as you do your best to remind, to help, to do whatever you can to help the other partner to obey Allah, you are not responsible if one of them insists on disobeying Allah. They not praying namaz, or if the wife does not want to implement the obligatory of the hijab, the husband is responsible to explain to her properly, nicely, not with forcing her, no, politely and nicely. If she insists on not wearing hijab, he is not responsible about her sin. And if he insists on not praying namaz, despite her telling him to pray namaz and the importance of namaz and all the emphasis we have in Quran and the saying of the Prophet and Ahlebait on namaz, if the husband does not want to listen, she, the wife, will not be responsible about the sinful acts of her husband. That's it. We have got the example of Lady Asia, pious believer, very pious lady, but her husband was big tyrant, Fir'aun. In Quran, Allah has mentioned examples for the non-believers and examples for the believers. The example of the non-believers, Allah mentioned the wife of Noah and the wife of Lut, the prophets. When Allah said, كَانَتَا تَحْتَ عَبْدَيْنِ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا صَالِحَيْنِ, both of them were married to two of our humble servants, but they disobeyed them. And being wives of prophets did not help them. وَقِيلَ ادْخُلَ النَّارِ مَعَ الدَّاخِلِينَ. They were being sent to hellfire because they did not obey Allah. And Allah mentioned examples for the believers. He mentioned Lady Maryam, the mother of the Prophet Isa, alayhi salam. And he mentioned also the Lady Asiya bint Muzahim وامرأة فرعون. امرأة فرعون قالت رب ابن لي عندك بيتا في الجنة. She was under the torture of Fir'aun and she was about to die, and she prayed to Allah to grant her a house in the paradise. So if the husband is disobeying Allah, his wife is not responsible as far as she does not support him in the sinful act. My respected sister, if your husband is not obeying Allah, you do your best to guide him, to advise him, to assist him. If he does not want to listen, then you are not responsible. That's it. May Allah guide him and guide all of us. Yes, please.
Thank you very much indeed, Syed. Now, Syed, the next question. Assalamu alaikum. Syed, I wanted to find out, what does Islam say about euthanasia of a pet dog or animals? What does Islam say about euthanasia for animals, or if you have any pets at home?
You see, the question of animals is completely different from the question about human beings. A human being who is very ill, we are not allowed to terminate his life at all. Allah grants the life, Allah grants the souls, and Allah takes the soul back whenever Allah wants. In Islam, no permission for anyone to terminate his life or the life of any human being, except criminals who kill others and those who are entitled to be punished, capital punishment. So it is impossible to terminate the life of any patient because he is very ill. But the case of the animal is different. If the animal is suffering and there is no hope of cure, then it is permissible to give the animal any medication or injection to terminate the life, just to terminate the pain or the suffering of the animal. Yes, please.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyid, the next question is, one person said that some Maulana on TV has said that in hadith by Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, that if someone is not reciting Inna Anzalna, Surah Qadr or Qul Huwallah is in prayer, is not acceptable, meaning any other surahs should not be recited in prayer. So it means we can't. Does that mean we shouldn't recite other surahs? If you can clarify this, that Inna Anzalna and Qul Huwallah should be the main surahs that should be recited in prayer, and not any other surahs, according to Imam Sadiq. This is the question.
So someone said on the member, on the pulpit, that we are not allowed to recite after Alhamd any surah, but only Qul Huwallahu Ahad.
Yeah, so apparently there's some hadith. There's some hadith of the sixth Imam that if someone not reciting Inna Anzalna or Qul Huwallah, the prayer is not accepted.
No, that is not right at all. That is not right at all. Of course, it is recommended to recite Surah Qul Huwallahu Ahad or to recite Surah Al-Qadr, Inna Anzalnahu fi Laylat Al-Qadr, after Surah Al-Hamd. It is recommended. And in the 5 prayers, morning, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, it is highly recommended to recite at least once Surah Qul Huwallahu Ahad after Al-Hamd. Highly recommended. But it is not right to claim that if you don't recite Qul Huwallahu Ahad or Inna Anzalnahu fi Laylat Al-Qadr, your salah will be invalid. That is not right at all. Yes, please.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, if you forget the qunut and go into raku, can we stand up and do the qunut by doing it like is the prayer valid? So, for example, if you forget the qunut and you go into raku, and then if a person stands up again and does the qunut, is the prayer still valid?
is recommended act if you forget to recite qunut and you are now in the ruku', then it is recommended for you to stand up when you stand and say Sami Allahu liman hamida before going to the sajda. You stand and say Sami Allahu liman hamida and do the qunut. But this qunut, after you finish it, don't do ruku' again. You should go after this qunut immediately to sajda. So if you forget qunut in its place before ruku', you can do the ruku', do the qunut when you stand up from ruku', then after that qunut, go immediately to sajda, sujood. That is the way. But if you go after that ruku' to after that qunut to sujood again, your salah is invalid because ruku' has been done twice. And ruku' in every rak'at is one time. And as you know, ruku' is wajib rukni. Salah has got pillars. Wajib rukni, ruku', you know, niyyah of namaz, takbiratul ihram, ruku', sujood. So anyone who adds anything on the wajib rukni, his salah will be invalid. Again, I say that performing the qunut, which is mustahab after all, not wajib, can be after standing up from ruku'. But after that, qunut should go down to the sujood. Yes, please.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, a question regarding a news agent business, whether you own it. Is it halal or haram to own or work at a news agent's business where they are selling scratch cards, for example, lottery tickets and things like that? So, and apparently, according to Ayatollah Sistani, the lottery is halal. I mean, this is part of the question, so if you can clarify this. Sorry, Sayyida, are you with us? Yeah.
The news agent. News agent means a shop selling magazines, newspapers, and so on. Some of the news agents sell lottery tickets and sell some magazines which are immoral. So the question comes, is it permissible for a Muslim to sell pornography magazines or pictures? The answer is no. It is not permissible for a Muslim to sell pornography material. And the income of such sinful material, the income itself will be unlawful, haram money. A news agent, but you refrain from selling any sinful material, then it is okay. It is for you to decide what to sell and what not to sell. So we don't say that every news agent is doing haram business. No. We say those who do haram business like pornography, magazines or pictures, or some of them they sell anything which is sinful, those sinful items are not permissible. But there are many other items are permissible. So the Muslim should avoid the sinful items.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina.
Yes,
Sayyidina,
please.
is my ghusl for haid considered valid if for the last 10 years I made the intention for purification, take a full shower with soap and water, and then stood under running water on the right side and left side?
If your practice for performing ghusl, any ghusl, being ghusl of hayd, which is the ghusl which is obligatory on the females after completing their menstrual cycle period, or ghusl of janaba, which is obligatory on husband and wife when they have intimate relationship, or ghusl on anyone who has wet dream, night discharge. So any ghusl, if you have the intention of ghusl to be pure from either hayd or janaba, and just make the water reach to your head and face and neck, then right side of your body, then left side of your body, then your ghusl is valid. And now we have got great scholars, Maraja of Taqleed, who say that only the head and the face and neck should be first, then after that the whole body is, even you can wash it in one time, that also is a valid ghusl.
Thank you very
Yes,
much
please.
indeed. The clarification. Thank you very much. The next question is, how can we save ourselves from the evils of the Western society?
Wherever you live, whether you live in the Western society or Eastern society or any other society, evil acts wherever they are, Muslim must save himself from evil acts wherever he lives. Many Muslims are living in Muslim countries, but their company makes them indulge in sinful acts. So not only those who live in Western countries, but those who live in some Muslim countries also are in danger if they don't be careful and aware of bad company. You must avoid bad company wherever you live. Don't be with those who usually commit sinful acts, those whose life is indulged in sinful acts. Don't mix with them, because mixing with them will expose you to sinful acts, and that might harm you gradually without your knowing. You might forget that you are under influence of your bad company, but you are. As far as your company is bad, you will be influenced by them even gradually without your feeling, without your realizing. So number one, be away from bad company. Number two, try to get good company. People who fear Allah, people who believe that Allah is with us always, people who don't commit sinful acts in their usual life. And even if they commit any sinful act, they repent and seek forgiveness. So trying your best to have good friends. Then, number three, perform your obligatory worship on time. Allah has ordained on the believers to perform morning namaz, zuhr namaz, asr namaz, maghrib namaz, isha namaz. Don't delay your namaz at all. Nothing is more important than your namaz on its time. That if you keep your namaz on time, that will be a key for success, for your success in this life and hereafter. In
Thank you
case,
very
for any reason, if you fall into sinful act, immediately don't delay seeking forgiveness and seeking help from Allah, not only to forgive you, but also to help you to avoid such sinful act in the future. Then recite Quran. If you cannot recite Quran, listen to Quran every day. Keep your life, keep your heart enlightened with the light of the word of Allah. Also, read what the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt said, the supplications of Ahlul Bayt, the dua of Ahlul Bayt. That also has got a great benefit for the believer. Next, always take account, your own account. Think, what did I do today, since morning till now? If you remember any sinful act that you committed, seek forgiveness. And if you remember any good act that you did, thank Allah for His bounty. So, taking your account. Always don't forget yourself. The hadith from Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, that the person who does not take account about his own deeds is not from the followers of Ahlul Bayt. So take account, try to follow up and assess and check what you did today and what you said today. These are some points which can help us a lot, inshallah, in protecting ourselves when we live in an atmosphere which is un-Islamic. Yes, please.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Moving on, Sayyidina, a question regarding zikr at night. Now, when I do zikr at night, I see lots of different faces. Some faces I feel are trying to scare me, and some faces are of old men with beards. I mean, please explain what this can possibly be about.
Dhikr at night, when you remember
Yeah.
Allah at night,
They're seeing different faces. The person is seeing different faces. Some faces are trying to scare this person. I mean, I think this is maybe the person is saying in a dream. Maybe it's a part of a dream after doing zikr, but the person is seeing different
any,
types of faces.
anything you see which is frightening you, scaring you, is from shaitan.
Mhm.
And anything which you see which makes you feel comfortable and peace in your mind and your heart, that is not from shaitan. So don't worry at all. You continue remembering Allah, especially in the night. Because Allah in the Quran says, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَاسْجُدْ لَهُ. From the night, prostrate to Allah. فَاسْجُدْ لَهُ. We do sajda. We must do sajda every night. Some people do sajda for 10 minutes. Some they do it for 5 minutes. Some they do it for 20 minutes or half an hour or more or less. So don't deprive yourself from the great benefits of sajda or sujood in the night. Even you can do sujood on your bed. And that sajda does not need even wudu. No need for wudu. Good if you have wudu, that's more reward. But if you are not with wudu and you want to do sajda on your bed, yes, you can do it. And say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. You can say, La ilaha illa ant, subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. You can say, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. You can say, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. You can say, Astaghfirullah. You can say anything while you are in sajda. That is very useful. After that, if you see anything not pleasant, means shaitan wants to drive you away from sajda. So be careful and seek refuge of Allah from the harm of shaitan. If you see anything good, thank Allah and try to do more sajda and more dhikr Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina, for the clarification. Sayyidina, I want to know that if neighbors, right, neighbors who are non-Muslim, due to some reason they use your bathroom or they take a shower in your home, and they went with wet feet on the carpets on your carpet. So what is the ruling regarding that? Do you have to make the carpet park, or what do you do in that situation?
I mean, a person went with wet feet on your carpet. Was he a mushrik?
It says a non-Muslim. Just say the non-Muslim.
Non-Muslim can be from people of book, Ahlul Kitab. So Ahlul Kitab, according to many of the great maraja of taqleed, are not najis. Some maraja say that they are najis, but many of our maraja, leading maraja of taqleed, say that Ahlul Kitab are not najis. But if a person who is not from Ahlul Kitab, like mushrik or non-believer, touches your carpet with wet feet, then that part that he touched becomes najis, and you can easily make it tahir by pouring water on it. And that's it. Just pour water on it and dry it again and dry it. That is done, and that carpet is tahir.
Thank you very much for that, Sayyidina. Is one allowed to say namaz?
The same subject. Today someone has asked that his roommates are non-Muslims, and sometimes they use his own utensils, plates, glasses to eat pork or drink alcohol. So what should he do when he wants to use his own utensils again? The answer, very simple. Even if the plates or pots or glass was made najis by pork or by alcohol, you just wash it 3 times with water, then it is tahir, and you can then use it. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, is it allowed to say your namaz al-layl, namaz al-shab, while sitting down?
Is it allowed to perform namaz shab? The line is not clear, so I'm not able to hear the question clearly, please.
Sure, Sayyidina.
If you can repeat the question.
Yeah, sure, sir. Is it allowed to say namaz al-layl while sitting down?
Is it permissible to perform namaz al-shab Salat al-Layl in sitting position? The answer is yes. Namaz al-Shab is recommended namaz. Mustahab. Of course, it is the most important recommended namaz. And every recommended namaz can be performed in the standing position if you want, and sitting position as well if you want. Even if you are able to stand. You know, the obligatory namaz like morning or dhuhr or asr or maghrib or isha, if you are able to stand, then you must stand and perform it in the standing position. But recommended namaz, you are allowed to perform it in sitting position even if you are able to stand. Why? Because it is recommended. So namaz al-shab, night prayer, is permissible to be performed in sitting position even if you are able to stand. Yes, please.
Thank you very much indeed. So regarding school uniform, so those schools or universities that have the uniform which has other religion signs and symbols, are students allowed to wear like the blazers they have or any clothing that is related to a particular school, but it has different religion symbols on them, like maybe a cross or any other symbol religious related? Can they wear this as part of the school uniform?
In general, Muslim is not allowed to wear any religious symbol of non-Muslims. Muslim is not allowed to wear a cross or to wear any dress which has got an Islamic religious sign. That is in general. In some schools, the uniform contains some of their religious signs or symbols. Muslim should try his best to convince the school or the management of the school to exempt him from that religious symbol. As much as he can, he should avoid wearing any non-Islamic religious symbol. Yes.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. So the question regarding recycling of Islamic calendars and leaflets. So if these such materials have the name of Allah and the Imams, can these be?
Yes, the papers which has got the holy names of Allah, the Prophet, and Ahlebait alayhim salam, or even Quranic verses. If you have no access to the sea or river or well of water, you can put these papers in the recycling place, paper and books, recycling place, with respect. Don't cause any disrespect. Keep it there, and that is enough. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Question, Assalamu alaikum. Question is said regarding recently we have started taking child benefits. Do we have to take out humps on the child benefit?
Who is the owner of that money? If the child is the owner, if that money was given not to you but to the child, then the child is the owner. So it should be spent on the child expenses, schooling, clothing, feeding, whatever. So the owner is the child. If nothing remains from it, you spend it on the child, and matter is finished, no amount remains, then no khums. But if this money, which is for the child, you spend on the child and still some amount remains, the amount of the child, we have got two opinions. Any child who owns some money, some ulama say that the khums is not obligatory until the child becomes baligh. And some ulama say that whatever the child owns, khums must be given out of what remains under the ownership of the child. Yes, please.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, could you let us know what should a person do if a person's brother keeps telling his friends backbiting about his brother who is supporting his brother with khalus? He's trusting more on others and always trying to make his true brother degraded and embarrassed, and keeps hurting his feelings in front of his friends and relatives. And in this case, what is advisable in this matter?
We advise him to be patient, to tolerate and be patient. This is not the first case. There are millions of relatives who backbite other relatives, brothers backbiting their own brothers, sisters backbiting their own sisters. We have seen people who are backbiting their parents. So the person who is backbiting should remember Allah, should remember that he will or she will sleep in their grave soon. Not it won't be after centuries. All of us are going, and we might go after 1 day or 1 month or 1 year. So we are going. So when we remember that we are going, we should be very careful not to commit any sinful act. And as you know, that backbiting is a major sin. Backbiting is the food of the dogs of hellfire. So remind those who backbite that they will sleep alone and they will lose all their good deeds or most of their good deeds to those whom they back. You know, they used to backbite them. Those whom they didn't like, their good deeds will go to them. And those who are victims of backbiting, they should do sabr, tolerance, and pray for the hidayat, guidance, and maghfirat of those who are backbiting them. This brother who is being victimized and wronged by his own brother should be patient and should pray for the forgiveness and guidance of his brother. Allah will definitely compensate him and reward him for his patience and tolerance.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. So then the question, why do Shias pray open armed, and what is the proof?
Why do Shia pray opening their hand? Simply because the Prophet of Islam never ever prayed one namaz with folding hand. And all the narrations in Bukhari and other books about folding hand, all of them, you don't find one narration, one, that the Prophet did it. You know, in Bukhari, the narration is from Sahal ibn Sa'ad. He said, كَانَ النَّاسُ يُؤْمَرُونَ. He didn't say the Prophet did it. Never. He said, you know, he narrated it during the government of Umar. And he said, كَانَ النَّاسُ يُؤْمَرُونَ. People were being ordered to hold their hands. Yes, we know that Umar initiated folding hands in Salah. He ordered it. Before him, even in the time of the government of Abu Bakr, no one was folding his hand. In the time of the Prophet of Islam, peace and blessing be upon him and his progeny, no one was folding his hands. But during the time of Umar, when the prisoners of war were brought from from Iran and Persia that time to Medina, they folded their hands in front of the head of the state, Umar. So when he asked them why, they say that is our custom in front of the respected people. So he was happy with it, and he said, then let us do it in our salah. Imam Ali alayhi salam rejected. The pious leading companions, Salman, Ammar, Abu Dhar, Naqdad, Hudayfa, all rejected. Until now, you find big Sunni scholars like Malik bin Anas, the head of the Maliki sect. He does not hold his hand. And in their books, in the Maliki books, Maliki Sunni books, no folding hand in Salah. And among all the Sunni Imams, Abu Hanifa and Shafi'i and Ahmad bin Hanbal, no one from them said that it is obligatory to fold hands in Salah. So we follow the Prophet who said, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. Perform Salah as you saw me perform Salah. So Shia Muslims are obeying the Prophet by praying their Salah with open hands, not folding their hands, because folding the hands is a bid'ah. And Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali alayhi salam, said, don't fold your hands like non-Muslims. It is a habit of non-Muslims. It was being brought to Muslims by order from the head of the state of that time. So we follow the Prophet of Islam. We don't follow any other leader or governor or head of the state or ruler, but we follow the Prophet of Islam and pray like his Salah, opening our hands.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, during Salah, sometimes we have like money in our pockets, for example, coins and notes, which has got printed pictures. Are these allowed to keep in our pockets while we're praying? And likewise, if we have other things in our pockets like mobile phone, keys, wallet, or any other things we have wallet, is it good to keep only while you're praying?
Carrying with us any item, whether it is money or banknotes or coins or watch, tahir item or even najis item is permissible, as far as the najasat does not reach to our cloth. The item is dry, and your cloth or your body is also dry. So the najis item will not make your body or your cloth najis, because no wetness. And as you know, the najasat does not transfer through dry media. The medium is dry, so no najasat will transfer. In short, carrying coins is permissible. Carrying banknotes, possible. any item, even carrying items which are not allowed for us to wear. For example, a man carrying in his pocket gold, say a ring of gold. Man is not permitted to wear golden ring during Salah. And if man wears golden ring or any golden item, wearing it, his Salah will be invalid. But carrying in his pocket a gold ring or anything golden does not harm his Salah. So in short, carrying any item which does not make your body najis or your cloth najis is permissible. Yes.
Thank you very much indeed. Sayyidina, is it permissible for me, a Shia man, to marry a Sunni woman when my mother disagrees?
Man, a Muslim man, does not need in his marriage approval of anyone. As far as he is baligh, mature, so his decision is in his hands. Not like the female, Muslim female who is virgin, only virgin, not any female. Only virgin means the female who has never married before. In her first marriage, she needs the approval of her father or the approval of her paternal grandfather. If the female has no living father and no living paternal grandfather, then she can decide her marriage by herself. A man who wants to marry does not need permission from anyone. But don't disrespect your parents. Don't cause hurting the feelings of your parents. Don't think that your life will be happy if you take a decision against the wish of your parents who have got their reasons. I mean, they don't accept, not for no reason. They might feel worried about your future with a person who does not share with you your faith as a follower of Ahlebait. So, in principle, Muslim man is allowed to marry Muslim women from any Muslim sect. But you have to be careful that the marriage should not cause harm to your faith or to your religious practice. That's number one. And number two, never disrespect the feelings of your parents.
Thank you very much indeed. Sayyidina, is it permissible for in Shia Islam to wear pants, trousers below the ankles?
Yes, it is permissible. For a man, yes, it is permissible.
Thank you very much,
Yes,
Sayyidina. Does the Nahjul Balagha also contain Sunni content? Is there any appreciation of the second Khalifa from Imam Ali alayhi salam?
Imam Ali alayhi salam never appreciate those who were before him, the three governors who came through Saqifa. In fact, Imam Ali openly said that those who were before me, they did lot of wrong things, which are away from the teachings of the Prophet of Islam and the Sunnah of the Prophet of Islam. And some people narrate that Imam Ali alayhi salam praised so and so. They are claiming without evidence. Imam Ali praised some pious personalities like Uthman bin Mad'un. He was being praised in Najul Balagha. But some people say that he was praying someone else, not Uthman Mad'un. You know, Uthman Mad'un was one of the sincere followers of Imam Ali alayhi salam. He was the first companion who was buried in Baqiyah. And he passed away and was buried in Baqiyah. So Imam Ali remembered him and praised him. In short, we don't have any authentic narration that Imam Ali alayhi salam ever praised any of those people of Saqifa.
Thank you very much indeed. Said now we have just one final minute remaining of the show. If you can again finish off with some wise words, please.
We are approaching the month of Rajab, the great month of Rajab. In maybe on Saturday it will start. So we are near to the month of Rajab. We need to prepare our hearts for the month of Rajab. It is Shahrullah, the month of Allah, the month of istighfar, seeking forgiveness, the month of repeating La ilaha illallah, the month of reciting Qul huwa Allahu ahad, the month of lot of great ibadah. So we need to prepare our hearts, our minds, our children, our families, our whole life for this great month of Rajab, and the reward of those who fast in Rajab, those who recite Astaghfirullah in Rajab, those who recite Dua in Rajab, or La ilaha illallah, or Qul huwa Allahu ahad, and other recitations is a great reward. In the day of Qiyamah, it will be called Ayn al-Rajabiyun. Where are the people who used to do good deeds in Rajab? May Allah grant all of us the tawfiq and the blessings and the ability to worship Allah and gain from the great benefits and forgiveness and mercy of the month of Rajab. Inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum.
Thank you very much. With those beautiful wise words from our Islamic scholar, we've come to the end of our show this evening, dear viewers. Keep our Islamic scholar, myself, and all at Ahlebait TV in your humble dua.